Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. If you don't know who I am, my name is Duhamel Bentley, and today, baby girl and baby boy, if you don't know what we're talking about one size, one size. I always gotta say it like that because that's kind of like I always hear it. Well, a couple of really cool things. Today we're gonna be talking about the primer. I'm gonna break it down, I'm gonna apply it on my skin. We're really gonna see if oh girl is securing the blur and if it really does extend the makeup wearability, if that's even the right term. But we're gonna find that out today. I'm trying to match the bottle a little bit. I've got the red with the pink. I couldn't find my lighter pink situation, so you know, girl, we gotta roll with the punches at this point in time because I have been putting this primer to the test, guys. I have been really exploring it because I personally have come a long way. It's been a journey. If you guys haven't seen the video where I made with the Velvet Matte from Makeup Forever powder, which I absolutely love, it'll be linked down below, so you make sure not to miss it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, girl, subscribe! Binge watch, you know it's a thing. So, on the one side, a couple of things. Really beautiful packaging. It means something with the color. It's within the freedom and the beauty in it. It has a whole incredible meaning that if you want to check that out, you know, within the website, they'll talk about all of that good stuff there. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that they're giving a meaning to it. I love the red. A lot of more products like the Jaclyn Hill latest collection, they're coming out with the red. But other than that, I've never really seen such beautiful packaging with the chrome red. So you got to give that to him 1000%. Patrick Starr, to me, he's a mogul. You know, he's definitely been in this industry for a very, very long time. He's done such a wonderful job with his MAC collections, which in the Dufay channel, we own a couple of those. And if you guys want to see me do recreation, or if you guys want to see me do, you know, just a talk, sit down and talk about the MAC collections that he launched and what I have and show you guys and try it out itself. If it's good and pristine, leave it in the comment down below. I'll be happy to do so. Now, a couple of really cool things about this primer in particular. This is ultra blurring. It doesn't only blur, it actually grips the makeup. It helps elongate the time of the wearability to your makeup. So a really popular one right now that is supposed to like really grip your makeup is going to be the Milk Makeup. What is that one? I don't have that one. What is that one? What the fuck is that one? I don't know. The Milk Makeup Grip Primer, that's a really, really popular one. But this is claiming to be iconic. This is not only claiming to give you skincare benefits, it has niacinamide, it has glycerin, which essentially these guys are gonna help create just, you know, a very smoothing effect. It's gonna be diminishing the look of pores, evening out kind of the complexion, as well as minimizing and addressing the shine. And I have my skincare on right now. As you can see, I'm a little bit glistening. So I'm gonna apply some of this product on half of my face. And here it is, half of my face. We'll see how this works out. Because what I have noticed with this is that it's very refreshing to apply to the skin. It doesn't feel silicone-y whatsoever, which is a very, very nice plus. Because a lot of the primers that are more blurring to the skin are very silicone-y, and they feel really, really heavy. This one really doesn't feel like that whatsoever. I feel like it wears really comfortably. It feels really nice and fresh. What I like to do when I apply my blurring primers is I like to go in all the directions that I can towards the pore to really minimize it. Meaning that I like to go this way, and then down, always finishing with the down because we want to lay the pores back down. So my pores typically grow out a little bit more sparse this way. This is my trouble area. I don't know if you guys can see a difference of this area. It's a little bit more glistening still for sure. It's a little bit more mattifying this side. But you know, it's looking pretty good so far. I'm not seeing a large drastic blurring effect on the skin. However, I don't know if with makeup it's going to do it. Now, On first impressions, this says you can use it on your own to kind of mattify and even out things. As it dries, it's starting to get a little bit dusty, and not in a bad way, but when I say dusty, I mean very, like it's gonna fill the pore. This also contains witch hazel, which is very good for toning the skin. However, witch hazel can be a little bit drying, which I haven't really found to experience that this is drying on the skin. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the witch hazel. I know a lot of people are not obsessed with witch hazel. However, I haven't really had any issues with it so far. Of course, as you guys know, I've been putting it to the test because I don't just want to sit here and say, oh my God, this is amazing, just so Patrick Star can notice the channel. We want Patrick Star to notice the channel for sure, but we want to make sure that when he notices the channel, he's getting our legit opinion. He's getting, and you guys are getting an educated experience, you know, that it's not just like, girl, this looks amazing and it feels iconic and boom, boom, boom. If it does, it does. And if it doesn't, girl, then we need to talk about it, you know? So far on its own, I'm feeling really comfortable and really happy about it. I feel like it wears really, I don't even feel like I have anything on, to be honest with you. I feel a little bit of freshness like I mentioned previously. And I'm applying this all over the face because this is set out to be hydrating as well as, you know, just very mattifying as well, which, you know, all skin types can use this. All skin types, because everybody has a little bit of pore, like we're human, it is what it is. And at first in my beginning journey of doing makeup on myself, for some reason I found it completely different than doing makeup on a client. And sitting here now and kind of going back through memory lane of my skin was that I hated foundation because I just felt like it enhanced everything negative on my skin. So I started little by little, by trial and error, figuring out what best ways to work with this. And honestly, I'm excited to try this because the pictures look incredible. You know, the times that I've tried it, I've had a hit and a miss. I just feel like the expectation sometimes matches what it does and sometimes it doesn't match. However, let's figure this out today because I'm diving in deep, honey. You know, like I said, we're gonna give it 30 seconds to dry. While it dries, let me close this up. This is valued at $30. You can get this at the Sephora website, Sephora in-store, or the one size actual website. This makeup primer is $30 value, which I think is pretty standard within the kind of priming situation. And this is going to be 1.18 ounces of product, which is going to be pretty much a lot of product. That's a little bit more than a regular foundation. So if a foundation typically lasts you, let's say 5 to 6 months, imagine how much this could be lasting you as well. Just again, be aware that as much as you apply on the skin, it's going to kind of give you the idea. Now, what I want to do is I want to see how buildable this product is. So I'm applying on one half of my face, 2 layers, and on one half, just the 1 layer, typical everyday one. So let's go in for the second layer. I have allowed it to dry, and I'm going with this amount. Usually when you're applying any kind of blurring system, you have to be really careful not to apply too much because if not, your foundation is just going to start moving around. It's a disaster. So let's see if this really does work. Let's see if you can build this up very comfortably and beautifully. Something I'm noticing right off the bat, again, it feels so fresh. It doesn't look heavy or gunky on the skin. Now, do I see a pore blurring effect without any makeup? Not at all. I don't. My skin just feels fresh. But does she look blurred? No. She doesn't look blurred. So let's do this. Let's give her 30 more seconds and then let me apply my foundation. All right, guys, so foundation is on the skin currently. Now, do I feel like my skin is extremely blurred? No. Is it a little bit blurred? Yeah. Does it look like that I have no texture? No. You know, it's not horrible. Like, it definitely makes a difference. But is this gonna be like a putty primer where you're like blurring out? No. However, here's my take of this. Based on the ingredients, based on the fact that this has skincare infused into it, my belief with this particular primer is that it's going to work with you right then and there, and it's going to work with you over time. So let's do this. Let me set my skin, because we're gonna talk about the powder as well. We wanna make sure, you know, that we're getting the one size full experience. Overall, again, my skin feels really comfortable. The foundation looks great on top of it. Both sides are, you know, very, very nice. I don't really see a difference between the size that I did a double ganger on and the size that I did just one layer. Texture pretty much looks the same. So it is buildable. However, are you gonna get a benefit by building it up? I don't necessarily think so. So don't waste your product. It looks great. I think it does look pretty good. The skin looks really, really nice. However, the foundation just came on, so we wanna wait for her to dry. I'm gonna put my concealer off camera and I'm going to start setting, baking, doing all the goods for you guys in front of camera. And let's talk about the powders, because the powders, to me, are another big deal. All right, guys, so concealer is on currently. I do like to go a little bit brighter, you know, once you add the bronzer and everything, it really does make a beautiful difference. Now we're gonna be talking about the one size. This is going to be the Ultimate Setting Powder. Now, what I like to do is I like to go in with the powder. I like to drop some in my hand. Make sure your hands are clean. That's gonna make the biggest world of a difference. And you wanna grab your sponge, or in the case of Patrick, they do recommend to use a puff. They do sell a puff as well. I personally do own some puffs, but girl, the maintenance of cleaning, you wanna make sure you're cleaning all of that always. So what I wanna do is I wanna bake my under eyes with the actual sponge, and then my entire face I'll do with an actual puff. So you wanna grab your beauty blender, touch the powder that you have, and you wanna make sure that you have enough powder to set the area. Now, I have already preset my under eyes. Before you go ahead and bake, you wanna make sure you're presetting. If not, it just could go crazy. And long story short, if you're doing it, let's do it right. So you wanna make sure you're doing that first. And then you wanna go in with the amount of powder, you know, baking the goods, honey. So you want to start gently pressing that into the skin. You want to go a little bit on the sides of the nose. If you want, you can go ahead and bake the center area as well, because you highlighted, or I personally highlighted, the center area. You want to make sure that when you're baking, you get as close as you can to the lash line, because if not, you'll get some creasing there, okay? Now, a thing that I really like about this powder on first impressions is that it seems to be very, very smoothing. I really like that. I feel like it's very different. When you touch it, it doesn't feel like a regular translucent powder, which is quite interesting because I personally own several translucent powders, and I think this is a really special one. So if you're in the market for a new one and you're over the Laura Mercier, or you're over, you know, some powders are just very, very similar, this one is honestly really, really different. What I'm doing now is I'm grabbing some of the excess powder that I had, and I'm just touching on my pored areas, making sure by pressing, not by moving the foundation or whatever product I have underneath, you know, just so it sets and it smooths down as well. You can do this with your sponge, or you can do this as well with your actual powder puff, which I'll get in a second here. I just want to start kind of setting everything before I go in with my powder puff. And I will say this, I definitely think that the powder does a really, really good job with blurring and softening and filtering out your skin. I mean, on camera, the skin just looks really, really soft, really unfocused in the aspect of you can't really see that it has texture or pores. It looks very filtered. So I mean, I'm pretty happy about that in the mirror up close. The texture also is not enhanced, and I really am enjoying that. So let me do this. Let me grab a powder puff. Let's set the rest of the skin and let's go on with the rest of the face because, you know, I'm really excited to talk to you guys and give you my final thoughts on all of these products. We are going to be using today the dark deep shade as well to enhance the contours of the face, just to give the skin a little bit of life and to give this product definitely a multi-use. So when you're gonna be using the powder puff, what you wanna do is you wanna grab your powder puff and kind of poke your finger, whatever finger you feel comfortable. I personally feel comfortable with the pointing finger. You wanna kind of create almost like a little taco. Same concept, drop it in your hand and you're gonna start kind of manipulating it little by little, picking it up. And then you're gonna go into the areas where you wanna focus and lock the makeup. By doing this, guys, you're not only locking the makeup into place, but you're also kind of making sure that the pores are looking nice and naturally. I honestly did not think I was going to need a powder puff. I didn't think it was gonna make such a difference, but girl, when I tried it, I was like, wow, this is definitely not a going back situation. I love a good powder puff. And I'm just setting the translucent all over the skin, mainly in the areas where I'm a little bit more porous. We wanna make sure that the skin is just looking snatched. And I feel like this made such a nice difference, you guys. Like, we went from like, okay, I can see a little texture to now very, very, very minimal texture showing. I also like to go and touch a little bit very gently over the eyes just to make sure that everything's looking nice and neat. So now that we've done that, let's focus on the contour. Let me put my blush on everything that I need to for the next step. I will be right back. All right, you guys, so my skin is fully set. What I'm going to do now is I am going to go with the deeper shade of the powder, which is going to be this little guy here. Specifically, it's going to be dark deep. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little fluffy brush. Typically what I do to use my bronzer or my contour shades, grab it on here. Very, very little bit. You want to make sure that you're able to control the blendability of it. Tap excess, and then you're going to start circling and swirling it very gently on the skin. And you want to take it step by step. You want to make sure you're building things up very gradually and slowly. The reason why I say that is because you can always put on more, but sometimes when you have too much, it could ruin your makeup because you can tone it back down. However, it's just a lot of complications that you could avoid just by taking it step at a time. So you can kind of start seeing it kind of warm up a little bit already. Very, very flattering. I think the awesome thing about this as well is that you can use this. It's not very orange. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. Like, it just works really, really well with, I think, every complexion, to be honest with you. I feel like if you're more on the lighter pale complexion, what you can do is you can mix both the translucent and the dark deep to kind of create and manipulate what you want, you know, as far as, okay, I want something that's very seamless and very, very kind of soft and airbrush, which I think this product gives you, but you don't necessarily want to, you know, go and invest on a pan, or like, this will last you a very, very long time, especially if you're interexchanging them. I think this is a really, really great asset to the company. I will say this as well for my deep toned, beautiful girls and boys out there. I think this is a really great setting powder as well. I don't think that this is gonna make you look either too red or too orange. I definitely think that this is gonna enhance the beautiful caramel undertones of your skin without giving you too much warmth where you're like, whew, girl, or even darkening your skin too much. I know a lot of powders, like I know the Laura Mercier one, can tend to be a little bit too orange, and it can also tend to be a little bit too deep on the skin. And for a translucent powder, which is what this is mimicking, a lot of deeper complexion moguls in the makeup industry are not the biggest fans of that. You know, they don't want something that's going to, you know, change the way their foundation looks or something like that. And I feel like this is a great one for that. I feel like very light, deeper skin tones can use this and feel comfortable, as well as deeper complexions to brighten up certain areas. I think this is a really awesome product specifically for that. It has a lot of multi-uses. And I will say this, I love, I will say absolutely I love this powder. Like, there's nothing in the market like it. This is definitely a banger on my book. I think this works really well on both the deeper side as well as the lighter side for everyday wear, for lighter to medium complexions, as well as if you want to just go with one or the other depending on your complexion. I think this would work really, really well on an everyday basis because of how well it works. Okay, you guys, so full face is done. The only thing that I need to do is mist my face, which I want to put to the test because a lot of the times when you mist your face, the texture kind of comes back. I want to do a really quick recap on the primer because I had some observations, and today was a confirmation of all of the times that I have tried it, because like I said, I had experiences where it worked phenomenally, or phenomenal. I can never say that word, phenomenally. Incredible, it worked incredible. And some other times it just was like, ugh. So pore wise, I feel like she's cute. Does she do like a super pore moment? No. I don't think this primer is going to give you like a snatched pore for the expectation of, let's say, for example, the Benefit Poreless Primer, or any kind of putty type of the Tatcha one, any kind of putty primer products, the e.l.f. girl, just they keep popping up in my head. But it won't do that for you. I don't think it will do that for you whatsoever. I do feel like this has the benefits of skincare, so this will better your skin over time. I also feel like this is only for targeted areas. I don't think you should be applying this all over your skin, and the reason why is because I don't know if you can tell, but it's breaking my foundation on my forehead, which is an area that I don't have as many pores, or I don't have as much texture as I would have on the nose kind of cheek area. I will say this as well. I don't think 2 coats works. I don't think that makes anything better. If anything, I feel like it makes things worse. I applied 2 coats on this side, and I feel like my foundation is breaking up a little bit on this side versus the 1 coat on this side. I feel like it overall plays nicely with the products you're putting on top. I don't think it interrupts or it breaks them too much. However, I feel like if you do apply a lot of this, it will interrupt and it will break the product, making the foundation break underneath, or making the primer break the foundation from underneath. So just keep that in mind. However, I think this is really cute. I feel like I've had it on for a little bit now. My face has been fully, good. It doesn't feel heavy. Like, my makeup does feel really nice and comfortable, which is great. I just, again, don't necessarily feel that the expectation is for this to be like secure the blur. I don't know how we're securing the blur. I feel like the star of today, 110%, was the 1-star powder. This is an amazing find, you guys. Like, this is iconic. It's so good. Like, I've never had a powder that blurs me the way this has blurred me. I feel like it just wears so beautifully, so naturally. There's no flashback. Like, it's just comfortable powder. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the powder because I know there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that we're touching on all of the important bases. Now, This size is $16 and it's going to be 0.23 ounces. If you do get the larger one, it's $30 and that's gonna be 1.2 ounces, which I feel like this is a great option for you to try. However, you would be getting a lot more product if you were to purchase, the full size. However, this is a great little sample size. I think this will last me a very long time. I feel like the bronze aspect of it looks really beautiful, really comfortable, really natural. Another really great thing about this powder is that it's up to 14 hours of wear. So I mean, it's a very long lasting powder. It has, a really good amount of ingredients. It's vegan, it's just really nice. It's really blurring, honestly. I'm shocked. I feel like if anything I was obsessed with today, it was a powder. I felt really excited to try this because I said like, yes, secure the blur, like who cares, I do think this is great. I do think this works really well. I just don't think that this is a right here, right now product. I feel like this is a product where you're gonna start seeing results as you wear it, which is great, but the expectation was different. The expectation was for you to have skin that was like smooth. And I feel like if this was not in the picture, you wouldn't get that with this at all. However, like I said, it does contain a lot of really great ingredients. Like for example, niacinamide, it's one of the products that I feel like it's so multi-use, it's essentially anti-aging, it's non-comedogenic, like it has so many great properties and benefits to your skin that just by that alone, I feel like I would love to continue to use this. I would love to continue to see the long-term results on this. However, if you're looking for something that's gonna snatch you, I would go 110% for the powder. But I do feel like they make a really great combo. I mean, I'm just obsessed. I feel like they work so well. I feel like my skin just looks really nice and airbrushed. I love it. I love the fact that, everything's looking pretty good. Just again, keep in mind, do use this sparingly in the areas of necessity majorly, because like I said, on my forehead area, my foundation is breaking and it's just not cute. That's definitely not cute, and I've never had that happen just by wearing the primers or foundations. I have had that happen though with primers, like for example, this is one of my favorites, the Egg Pour. I believe I bought this a while back. I believe this is by the brand Tony Moly. And this is a putty primer, and definitely if you use this a little bit too much, honey, if you go a little too crazy, your foundation will break underneath it, as well as the Poreless Primer by e.l.f. She's not my favorite, but I do have her and I have used her. I have had a lot of issues with this happening all over my face with the e.l.f. one, which, e.l.f. is a really great brand, but not everything can be a win for sure. And I feel like this product in particular will only do that in specific areas where maybe it builds up too much. Because like I said, on the area that I had it just one pass, my skin looks great. It feels comfortable. On the one that I have too, it feels great too, but it does look a little bit more heavy, if that makes any sense. Now, with that said, you guys, I loved the experience today. I'm excited to have brought one size to this channel. I am extremely proud of Patrick Starr because he's not only a male in makeup, he's a plus size male, and he's obviously created such a beautiful empire for himself. And I'm excited to see him grow, and I'm excited to see what other products this brand continues to launch. I definitely think that these guys are great options. However, if you had to ask me, twist my arm, who are you keeping? Girl, I'm keeping both, but this is absolutely something that I will repurchase. Now, I don't know if I'll repurchase this. The only way I would say I would repurchase this is within time and see if my skin is really making a really lovely difference. If you guys are curious to know where you can purchase the powder or the primer or even further accessories and products from One Size Beauty, you can definitely do so on the onesize.com website. You can Google it and boom, it'll be there. This is a Sephora exclusive brand, so you can go into a Sephora. It's a little bit difficult now with the pandemic, so you really can't swatch much, but you can see the product in person, or you can actually get it on the Sephora website, which Either way, you're winning. I purchased these through Trendmood. The box arrived very, very quickly, which if you guys haven't seen that video, she'll be linked down below so you can enjoy that box unboxing craze. I was more excited. I feel like I had higher expectations. It's like when someone tells you, oh my God, this restaurant is so amazing, you gotta go eat there. And you go eat at the restaurant and you're like, I gotta reevaluate my friend choices. You know what I'm saying? All right, you guys. Well, with that said, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you so, so much for all of the support. I'm so blessed and so grateful. The Doofay channel is just so grateful to sit here and talk to you guys. And I see you guys connecting with us, and that's what we're here for. We want to make sure you guys are comfortable and happy and, you know, kind of getting something different out of this channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss any of the craziness. And honey, do I need to tell you to binge watch? You know it's a thing. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.